Cube is a motherfucking lyricist.
I can't stand Ice Cube.
That's crazy.
I'm not a fan of him lyrically or acting-wise.
Really?
He's the same in
How much time we got left here? Because should I just tell him to leave now?
Let me tell you, Big Chuck did a great joke. He goes, here's Ice Cube as a gynecologist. Hey, Miss Jenkins, I looked at your chart. Now get up on that thigh.
That's racist. I don't know how it's racist, but what you just...
You know things are wild when Ice Cube, the man who wrote No Vaseline, one of the coldest diss tracks in hip-hop history.
The greatest lyricist. He was energy. He was passion. He made you feel him. If that said, tear the club up, you wanted to tear the club up. Dear mama, you wanted to hug your mama. When you think about lyricism, Nas, Jay-Z, Biggie, Jadakiss, my lyrics, spitter.
Stops counting money to check somebody.
Aries Spears.
Oh, that dude?
Yeah. He said nothing.
Is he a comedian?
Yeah.
Because he ain't never made me laugh, so I don't know if...
But that's exactly what went down when Aries Spears couldn't keep his mouth shut on Big Boy's neighborhood.
Hey, man. You gotta listen to this. Nah, this hot right here.
He didn't just throw shade. He came swinging at Cube's entire legacy, like he was trying to erase him from rap history, acting, music, reputation.
You know what he said?
What'd he say?
He said it was nothing about you impresses him. From movies to rapping, nothing at all impresses him. And I'm like, wow, like what?
Suckers usually don't like me. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that you know, they usually don't like me when they coming from that angle. That's cool though. You know, everybody got their opinion and they all stink. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's cool. You know, he entitled to his opinion. It's the feeling is mutual. You know, I don't think he on anybody's list of top 10 comedians. You know what I mean? In the black community for sure. I don't even know if he's on the register with us.
Aries went scorched earth on all of it. He had the nerve to call Ice Cube trash, both as a rapper and as an actor. That's straight up disrespectful.
I can't stand Ice Cube.
That's crazy.
I'm not a fan of him lyrically or acting-wise.
Cube clapped back quick, though, calling Aries irrelevant, not funny, and saying he ain't even close to the top 10 in black comedy.
And for the record, I respect Ice Cube, the man. I respect Ice Cube in terms of what he's brought to the game. He's one of the pioneers. So hats off to him. Said I wasn't a fan of his artistry. I never attacked him as a man. I never attacked him in terms of his character. I said I wasn't a fan of his artistry. Why am I not allowed to feel that way? Why is that? And then secondly, it's always funny. People call me a hater because they love to highlight when I say I don't like something, as though I don't have love for anything.
Savage. But the chaos didn't stop there, because 50 Cent saw that clip, and you already know 50 lives for drama.
What's the equation will never be satisfied. Why? Because some other motherfucker will come along that'll take and blow the world up, and you'll want to be that. And then some other motherfucker will come around and have as talented as you, or possibly more, and then you're going to get upset. Because again, you focus on everything that is not you.
Hold up.
Everything you want,
wait a minute,
but not what's in your present space.
The second he saw Aries flailing, he jumped online, ready to roast like it was Sunday BBQ. What started as a chill convo about rap rankings and legends turned into pure madness the second Ice Cube's name dropped.
Hey, put hands on you, give you real black eyes. Come on, don't do that. And that's the truth. I mean, you could, I've had about enough.
Aries didn't hesitate. He dove right in.
Watch the comments. Now, when people talk about, you ask anybody, no matter where their region, you know, give me a top 5 rappers. Pac's usually always in that list. Right. I don't ever put Pac up there with
tearing down one of the most respected figures in hip-hop like he had a death wish. No pause, no mercy, no sense. Then Aries made the ultimate mistake. He dissed, "It Was a Good Day." That's holy territory in West Coast history. The song that shaped an era. Even Big Boy's crew tried to laugh it off, lighten the vibe, keep it friendly. But Aries wasn't hearing that.
I saw a comedian speaking kind of bad about you, man.
Who is this?
Aries Spears.
Oh, that dude?
Yeah. He said nothing.
Is he a comedian? Because he ain't never made me laugh. So
he switched into this weird Ice Cube impersonation as a gynecologist of all things, and dropped a line so cringe the whole studio went dead silent. No laughs, no smiles, just uncomfortable air thick enough to cut with a knife.
Ice Cube was on when I'm just watching. Music, all of it.
Movies, all of it.
Yeah. I never really seen Ice Cube in films that weren't his. You know, like he kind of produced the vehicle that he was in. And it wasn't like he was just being an actor in someone else's film.
Aries was laughing like he'd nailed the joke, but the room said otherwise. Still, he wouldn't quit. He doubled down, went off script, ignoring the host's attempts to move on. Everyone's trying to steer the ship back, but Aries, he's punching holes in it mid-sail, and just when you thought he couldn't dig any deeper, he took a wild, uncalled-for shot at Tupac, like, what was he thinking? At that point, Aries Spears wasn't just crossing lines, he was torching bridges. He disrespected Ice Cube, clowned a West Coast anthem, and dissed Tupac all in one sitting. That's not controversial, that's career suicide. And the craziest part? He looked dead into the camera while doing it, like he wanted the smoke. It's almost like he was daring Hollywood and the hip-hop world to cancel him for good. This man wasn't spiraling. He was free-falling. Man,
I'm the poster child for the world's biggest hater. If you look up the word hate, it's my picture. When did we get to a point where unless your opinion, and last time I checked as human beings, we're all allowed to opinions. At what point does it get to where unless your opinion is favorable about a person or a thing and goes with the flow of everyone else, you're a hater? I don't understand that.
The backlash hit faster than a punchline at a roast. The internet didn't waste a second dragging Aries Spears through the mud. One fan tweeted, "I love Aries' skills, but bro, the Ice Cube slander is a no-no." Another wrote, "This is why Aries ain't got no weight. Talking like Cube or Pac wasn't lyrical is wild. Sounds like he's salty New York lost the crown back in the 80s and 90s. Ouch. The streets were talking loud and clear. But what Aries didn't expect? The actual legends he tried to clown firing back themselves. Usually, guys at Cube's level don't even bother. They let the noise fade out while they keep stacking checks. Not this time. Ice Cube heard the disrespect loud and clear, and he wasn't about to play polite. Cube stepped up like a straight boss and tore into Aries' credibility. He questioned if Aries was even funny, if he was relevant, or if he even still belonged in the conversation of top black comedians. Then Cube turned it up another level. He dragged Aries' entire career from top to bottom like a bad Yelp review. He didn't sugarcoat a single thing. No mercy, no filter, just pure truth bombs. Let's be real. Cube ain't just another rapper from back in the day. He's a living blueprint of longevity. From ghostwriting NWA classics to No Vaseline, the diss track that ended careers, to creating the Friday franchise, and even building the Big Three basketball league from scratch, Cube's resume is thicker than a movie script. This man went from street poet to business mogul, all while staying respected by every generation. But Aries, he must have thought this was a game, because even after getting roasted by fans and Cube himself, he still didn't learn. Instead of cooling off, he doubled down like he was addicted to controversy. He jumped back on camera, still running his mouth, still throwing shots like he was untouchable. You could almost feel him daring Cube to clap back again. Here's where things took a sharp left, though, because now it wasn't just about Ice Cube anymore. Somewhere in a penthouse suite surrounded by million-dollar deals and champagne bottles, 50 Cent was scrolling his phone, grinning. You could already tell by that look. Trouble was about to start, because Aries, he had been popping off about 50 too. That's when 50 pulled one of his signature sneak diss moves. Out of nowhere, he dropped a cryptic video on IG. No names, no direct shots, just classic cold-blooded trolling. But fans caught it instantly. The tone, the timing, the smirk. Everyone knew exactly who that post was about. That was a straight-up hit aimed at Aries Spears without 50 even saying his name. Pure petty genius. Now you might be wondering, why did 50 even care? The man's plate is stacked. He's out here producing Power, BMF, Raising Kanan, and running G-Unit films like a machine. He's got liquor brands booming, stadium tours selling out, and new TV deals dropping every quarter. So why take time out of that billionaire hustle to clown Aries Spears? Here's the part most people don't know. 50 and Ice Cube go way back. They've always had mutual respect built on real work ethic and game. Long before Hollywood started giving 50 his flowers, Cube was one of the first legends to publicly co-sign his acting and producing grind. And 50 never forgot that. He's shown Cube love in every interview, calling him a trailblazer, a mogul, a real one. Aries Spears is exactly the kind of dude 50 Cent lives to roast. Loud, reckless, and full of opinions, but with no new wins to back it up. So when Aries started barking again, 50 couldn't resist. He pulled up with a post so icy it froze timelines. He dropped a slick bar. "Check my temperature. I'm ice cold. The hood left the left side of my chest froze. Need help with your bills? I'll write you a referral-ish. Might even get you a love contract." That wasn't just shade. That was Arctic. 50 didn't even have to tag Aries. The whole internet knew who that was aimed at. The man basically said, "You broke, you bitter, and you irrelevant." All in one verse. Brutal. And Aries? He felt that sting deep. Next thing you know, he's back online, fired up, going on another emotional rant, this time circling back to Ice Cube again. You could tell he was still salty about Cube clowning him earlier, but instead of owning it, he tried to play it off like he was taking the high road. He started with, "I respect Ice Cube as a man," then flipped it mid-sentence, saying Cube's never done anything impressive. Like, bro, what? That's not respect. That's a contradiction wrapped in delusion. Fans weren't having it. They tore him up across every platform. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. Not because of his opinion, but because he kept switching sides like he couldn't pick a lane. One fan tweeted, "You can't talk slick and cry when somebody claps back." Another said, "You got the right to your opinion, but after that corny skit, you not valid." Ice Cube a made man. It was open season on Aries Spears' reputation, and nobody was defending him this time. But that's when things took a darker turn. Because now, the smoke he caught wasn't just about Cube or 50 anymore. People started dragging out his past. The internet loves receipts, and once they remembered Aries' old scandals, everything went downhill fast. Flashback to 2022, Aries Spears and Tiffany Haddish got hit with one of the most disturbing lawsuits the internet had ever seen. The accusations were chilling, and the case revolved around a so-called comedy sketch that went completely off the rails. The video showed a young boy left alone with a creepy adult character played by Aries, and the way it was filmed made everyone's stomach turn. It wasn't edgy, it wasn't funny, it was just straight up uncomfortable to watch. When that clip resurfaced online, it was chaos. Twitter caught fire in minutes, with thousands of users tagging news outlets and calling for accountability. Even the Shade Room dropped the footage, and you already know, once it hits there, it's officially public court. The outrage was massive, fans were disgusted, celebs distanced themselves, and Aries' name started trending for all the wrong reasons. The backlash was fast and vicious. Headlines were everywhere, comment sections were flooded, and people demanded answers. Both Aries and Tiffany claimed it was all taken out of context, but the internet wasn't trying to hear that. The lawsuit eventually got settled and the video was wiped from the web, but the damage? That never went away. That stain on Aries' name became permanent. No matter how many jokes he cracked or interviews he gave after, that dark chapter kept creeping back up whenever his name hit the headlines again. And now, with him poking at Ice Cube and 50 Cent, that old scandal's being dragged right back into the spotlight. Aries thought he was reigniting his career with controversy, but instead, he just reopened a wound that never healed. The timing couldn't be worse because while Cube and 50 are sitting on empires, Aries is stuck defending his name in the same comment sections that used to hype him up. So what did Aries do next? Exactly what he always does, ran straight back to his comfort zone. Every time he popped up online, it was the same tired formula. More rants, more complaining about being blackballed, and endless comparisons to Kevin Hart. He kept acting like the industry owed him superstar status. But fans weren't buying it anymore. They saw through the pity talk. Aries was doing way more talking than working. The pattern couldn't be clearer. Aries Spears wasn't trending for his comedy, his stand-up, or any new project. He was trending for chaos. Every headline had his name tied to controversy, not creativity. No blockbuster movies, no sold-out arenas, just viral beefs, bitter interviews, and recycled drama. It was like he stopped chasing success and started chasing clout. And behind the scenes, the word on the street wasn't looking good either. Multiple ex-castmates from Mad TV and other projects started speaking up, saying Aries was difficult, full of ego, and always trying to outshine everyone else in the room. They described him as the kind of guy who'd step on your punchline just to prove he's the funniest in the room. That me energy, it followed him everywhere he went, and it burned bridges faster than he could build them. So when the Ice Cube and 50 Cent drama exploded, all that old baggage came rushing back. People started connecting dots, realizing this wasn't some new behavior. This was a pattern. Aries wasn't the underdog. He was the one throwing punches and then crying foul when they landed back. Sure, Aries Spears can kill a good impression. That's never been in question. He can light up a crowd for a few minutes with clever voices and sharp timing. But here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. He never had that moment, that cultural shifting breakthrough that turns a comic into a legend. He never had a Chappelle show, never had a Kings of Comedy run, never had that one special everyone quotes years later. And when you miss that kind of shot, the bitterness creeps in, slow but deadly. It starts to eat away at the respect you built, leaving only resentment behind. Now let's flip the script and ask the real question. Why did this whole beef explode so hard in his face? Simple. When you come for Ice Cube, you're not just clowning another rapper. You're coming for a cornerstone of hip-hop culture, a man whose fingerprints are all over the DNA of the game. Let's break it down properly. No Vaseline. Easily top 3 diss tracks ever. No debate. Cube didn't just diss NWA. He ended them with that track. Pure venom and skill, written from the soul of a man who built the West Coast sound brick by brick. Then there's Friday. Not just a movie, but a cultural movement. That film flipped comedy on its head, gave us lines people still quote 30 years later, and launched stars like Chris Tucker into superstardom. It wasn't just funny, it was real, rooted in the hood, in laughter, in life. And the Big Three League? Cube didn't just talk about giving back. He built a professional basketball league from the ground up. Real NBA legends, real arenas, real business. That's legacy in motion. And before all of that, Cube was ghostwriting history, writing bars for Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, and MC Ren. While still a teenager, he literally helped shape the foundation of West Coast rap before most people his age had even graduated high school. That's 4 decades of staying relevant, evolving, and winning in every lane imaginable. Now stack that resume up next to Aries Spears. What's his cultural footprint? A few good Mad TV impersonations, some decent stand-up routines, and now going viral for talking down on legends who built the very culture he benefits from. No iconic film, no defining stand-up special, no legacy moment that shifted the game. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment below. What's your take on this whole mess? And trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. See you on the next one.